Hey everybody, welcome to the KETIV Virtual Academy. I'm so excited to have you back, and we're excited to be back live today with you. Today we're kicking off a series that we're calling AutoCAD to Inventor 101. And as part of that series, we're kicking it off and getting us started on a new session called Getting Started with Inventor Sketches. So this is part of a three-part series, and we're going to be going live in coming weeks. We're really excited to be doing this and want to hear how you are receiving the live sessions. Want to see what other ideas you may have for upcoming sessions. Um, yeah, and we want to keep this conversation going. So as we get into the session, please drop any comments or questions you have, and we'll respond afterwards. Today, you're going to learn how to kick off this idea of moving beyond 2D and AutoCAD, start designing in 3D in Inventor. The way we're going to do that is we're going to get it kicked off with Marco Trinidad. He's here at KETIV, and he's going to get us started with Inventor sketches today. So thanks for joining us, and stay tuned, and we'll catch you in coming sessions in following weeks.
Okay, welcome everyone. Today we are going to be going over moving from AutoCAD 2D into Inventor 3D. My name is Marco Trinidad. I'm one of the application engineers here at KETIV and also one of the Inventor instructors. So a little bit about our agenda today. We're going to start out with the basics of creating a sketch in Inventor and then using those tools to import your geometry from AutoCAD into Inventor 3D. Now, before I jump into the software, we are just going to cover a little bit of the basics of Inventor sketches. Inventor sketches are used in several places inside of Inventor, but one of the major uses for them is going to be for 3D features. So you'll see them inside of your extrusions, your sweeps, holes. All of those features are driven by sketches. So that's why it's really important to have those basics under your belt and be able to be very efficient because that trickles down further into your design process. A couple of tips for Inventor sketches is to keep them simple. For me, I like to keep a single sketch per 3D feature. That way it's a little bit easier to manage both the sketch and the 3D features if I'm passing down a part to someone else or I'm having someone else edit my design. It's a little bit easier for them to go in and see a single sketch that's driving a feature as opposed to seeing a really complex sketch driving multiple different features on a part. For me, I also like to use symmetry wherever possible. You'll see that's important when you get down to work features or when you're trying to be more efficient in your views. Multiple places where symmetry can go a long way. For my sketches, I also like to fully constrain them inside of my sketch workspace. There are maybe a few occasions where you wouldn't do that, but in general, it helps cover your degrees of freedom and prevent you from unintentionally making modifications to your sketch. And then the last tip that I have is use 3D features wherever possible. Certain features you can do inside of your sketch, for example, fillets or chamfers. But wherever possible, I do always recommend using the 3D feature because your 3D features have a little bit of history and a little bit of intelligence built into them. So it's a little bit easier to go back and modify a 3D feature as opposed to a sketch. Now, jumping into the software, I do have a sample file. If you want to download it, it will also be linked below. So today we're going to start out with this simple bracket that I have open inside of AutoCAD. We're going to use this AutoCAD 2D drawing and import that into Inventor. Now to start out, just to familiarize ourselves with the Inventor sketch basics, I'm going to go ahead and create this from scratch inside of Inventor. And then we'll walk through some of the options you have to import this directly from AutoCAD. So moving back into my Inventor, I'm going to go ahead and go to create a brand new part file. Open up my standard part. And this will bring me into my 3D space. Now to start out a sketch, I'm going to go up to the top on my ribbon, click on Start 2D Sketch. And this is where I can select my plane to create this sketch on. Now I'm going to go back to AutoCAD and just take a look at my drawing. And I have to decide right now which view I think will get me the most out of my initial sketch. And I think this view over here on the right, or actually on the front, I think this front view is the one that will get me the most information to where I can extrude this out and then finish up my additional features that I'm going to add onto this bracket. So moving back into Inventor, I'm going to click on my XY plane, and that will prompt me into the sketch workspace. Let me bring up my bracket one more time. Move this slightly off to the side. Okay, so now to start out, I am going to start out with a couple of lines here just to create this initial shape. I'm going to go up to my line tool up at the top. And then this will prompt me to select my starting point. In Inventor, at any point, if you are creating a line or creating a feature, if you look at the bottom left of the window, Inventor is going to let you know what it's looking for. So in this case, it's going to have me look, it's prompting me for the start of my line. So when I click down my initial starting point, you can see that now I'm starting the line and it's prompting me for the end point of my line. So I'm going to go down a little bit. And then you can see it wants me to continue. Now, a quick little tip for Inventor, if you do click and drag from the end of the line while you're still in the line tool, it'll actually give you an arc. So I'm going to click and drag that. And I'm going to hover over here to where I get a nice 90-degree angle. Click one more time, and then you can see I created my arc. And then I will once again click my endpoint for my line. Now, as I start to create this bracket view, on the bottom right, Inventor is going to always let me know how many degrees of freedom I have. And right now I have 5 dimensions that I need to fully constrain this line. Now for me, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place this so that way my origin is it's better positioned on my bracket. So I'm going to go over here up to the top and constrain with a coincident constraint. And I'm going to move the endpoint of or actually I'm going to move this left point of my bracket, and I'm going to put that over the origin. And that'll just help me as I start to constrain this. Now I have a grounded point to where I can measure and dimension off of. Now I'm going to start adding in some dimensions based off this view that I have in AutoCAD. I'm going to go up to Dimension and click on my vertical line, and then I'm going to find the endpoint of my horizontal line. I'm going to add that 4 inches onto this. Next up, I have
Marco, we don't, sorry, we don't see your screen. I'm not sure if you meant to do that.
Oh, did it?
I see it. I don't know what you're talking about, Nicole.
Really?
Yeah, I see it fine.
Oh, it's not showing on my end.
Uh,
That cool, Nicole?
okay, so next dimension I do want to add is the little radius over here on the bottom left corner. I'm going to click on that. Click on out over in my model space and then add in that radius. And then it does look fully dimensioned. As you can see, the line went from purple to black. That's indicating that these are fully constrained. Although you can see I'm still missing one dimension from looking at the bottom right. And that, I believe, is going to be this vertical. So you can see that this line can still move up and down. So I do still need to add in a vertical dimension or a constraint to finish up this line. So I'm going to add in this last one, which I believe is 8 inches. Okay, so now I created part of this line. This last dimension that I need, this 1/2 inch offset, I can do that with the offset tool. So up here at the top, under the modify section, I can click on offset and then select this tangent line. And then that will give me my last dimension. So I can do my 1/2 inch, type that in, and then just need to connect these two endpoints. And now you can see at the bottom right, I have a fully constrained sketch. And from this sketch, then I can extrude it out and create the initial shape for my bracket. Extrude that using the extrude tool. And that's C10. And that would be my starting point for this bracket. And from there, I can go in and add my additional features and then create my drawing from this starting point. So that's how I would approach at least the start of this bracket in Inventor if I did not have the ability to import my view directly from AutoCAD. Now, for more in-depth training on this, you can go to our KETIV Virtual Academy, and we do have a couple of videos. Our support team also does help with sketch training. We do have additional resources as well that include a more in-depth look at Inventor sketches. If you want to click down below in the description, we do have a more in-depth video on covering Inventor sketches.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marco. Get my video turned back on here. Appreciate the session, Marco. That was great. Apologies for the screen sharing confusion. Streaming live can be exciting, but also unpredictable. So thanks for your patience on that. A reminder to drop any questions you had during that session into the comments, and we'll get a response really soon. And lastly, join us next week. We're going to continue this series on Thursday, March 27th, 10 Pacific. Marco's going to cover importing and copy pasting AutoCAD into Inventor and how to prepare for formatting the geometry in Inventor and getting us out of this 2D space. So thanks so much for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe and set your alerts so that you can catch future KETIV Virtual Academies. And we hope everybody has a great rest of your day.